right, we will see if anyone decides to join us today. Hello, hello. Who's joining me today? Want to do a quick little cast. Hi, Mark. How are you? Hopefully, you can hear me okay. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys joined. Well, I did have a special request, and actually, Mark, you had some questions with my latest post. I'm doing great. Thank you, Mark. I'm doing really good. It's been kind of a busy day, but good nonetheless. So, yeah. So you had. Fix this microphone a little bit. See me a little better. Mark had some questions, and I don't have them pulled up. I can't really see them from where I'm at right now, but if you wanted to pull those questions up, Mark, if you have them. If not, I can probably just grab my phone and pull them up. But if you are willing to retype them, that'll be helpful too. So you had questions on the latest post about tapping into certain frequencies. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and give it a try. If not, I can just grab my phone really quick and find them on my phone. But while I'm doing the podcast or while I'm here, I can't see a different screen. So until then, yeah, I've just been doing the 75 hard thing. We can also do another part of the. No, I think I'm just going to keep these questions. We'll do a part of the series, the ET series, a little later today. But yeah, so I'm just going to kind of wait for Mark's questions. It's really nice out today. Hi, Ellen. How are you, sweetheart? How are you? I'm doing great over here. Just taking any kind of questions my babies might want to ask. Mark had a few questions, so I'm allowing him a little time to pull those up. I'm right here, baby. I'm right here, Ellen. Right here, baby. So, it's a good day. Sunday is usually during the week. Things pop up, and so I'm not able to get all the lives and the podcast and all that stuff in there. But Sundays I can pretty much get all three platforms. Good. I'll also be putting out tomorrow, if you are one of my off TikTok subscribers, I'll be putting out a new weekly email for you with a delicious surprise inside. What is the definition of human frequency? Okay. What is the definition of human frequency? I'm going to give you my theory, my understanding, my experience in knowing that frequency is frequency, period. Every single thing has a frequency. This microphone, the computer, everything is vibrating and moving all the time. So the human frequency is just another frequency. It's just it is what it is. It's human frequency. It is a frequency, it is a vibration, just like everything else is a vibration. It's not separate from the vibration of this microphone stand. They're both vibrating, maybe at different speeds. That's the difference. The difference between frequencies is the speed in which it's vibrating. But as far as like an object or a being, there isn't a specific, like humans will vibrate with some sort of name or anything. It's just a matter of how fast or slow the frequency is moving. But everything on the planet, including the planet, has its own personal frequency. See, how does the development of my human frequency allow me to elevate? This is so wild. I'm deja vu right now. It's so wild. So wild. Okay. How does the development of my human frequency allow me to elevate to higher levels of consciousness and spirit? Okay, that's a great question, Mark. Thank you for asking. Um, so the development of your human body, right, and the frequency of your body is important because when you are elevating your mind and you are entering portals, okay, you're entering portals, you're experiencing new light, okay, you have to develop the body, the flesh, the heaviness that we carry around, which is our flesh, right? It has to be in shape. If your body is not in shape, and I'm not talking about being yoked, I'm not talking about being, in the competition. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if the body is not properly nourished and moved about in an exercise way, staying strong, the body will not assist you in higher frequencies because it's too weak. It can't even handle the tiny little spark that you're trying to implement in your body because you don't take care of the temple in which this light has to reside. So your temple, that's the part that your temple, which is your body, the human body plays, is the holding space for immaculate light. So that's the part that the human body plays. It is the holding cell, the container for immaculate light, which means the body needs to be immaculate. The body can only handle as much light as it's equipped to, and that's up to you. How you take care of your body and how much light you bring into the body. How does the development? Okay, I just said that. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Mark. Does that make sense to you? Do you need me to elaborate a little bit more? Or how, does that resonate? Answer your question? If my aura and my frequency are capable of reaching such levels, how do I do that? And how do I maintain those levels? Okay, you have to do the work, darling. You have to do the work and you have to seek it out. If you are seeking it out, whether that's subconsciously or consciously, or your soul is seeking for these higher levels, which are very attainable, um, then the work that needs to be done will present itself to you. And then you will make the choice to do that work based on the information that you've been given. And in order to maintain, once you reach these certain levels, um, practice. That's it. Practice. It's like any other thing. It's like any other practice piano. How am I going to maintain playing piano very well? Practice. That's all. Every day. You develop a new practice. You master that, develop a new practice. It's never ending. It's infinite. How many times you will have to practice and upgrade your practice and find a new practice because you mastered that one. It never ends. It never ends. So you're maintaining as you are evolving, and then once those skills that you have maintained as you're growing, you start to outgrow those, right? Because you're elevating. So it's a constant elevation. You don't want to stay in maintenance too long to where you become complacent and you don't search out other realms and possibilities. That is a common thing when something feels really good. You get complacent in it, and then you just stop. You stop learning. You stop doing the things that are pushing you towards that next mind-blowing, beautiful, sensual God experience. I hope that gave you some insight, Mark. All my babies. It's a lifelong journey, darlings. A lifelong journey. So this is for my babies. This is for you to ask any questions you might have. I've gotten a few different requests for the ASMR. I'm still taking more. If anybody, I know a lot of people asked if I could make something to fall asleep to, and I would love to. If you have something you want me to read, or just give me a specific topic. It could be, I don't know, it can be anything boring, like that you like, or it could be something sensual and erotic, maybe. It could be as simple as just reading affirmations to you. Whatever you want, whatever you desire, whatever strikes that that beautiful, beautiful vibration in your body to help you relax and feel good and feel loved. My darling Mark, do you have any other questions that you'd like to ask? Or anyone? Alan? Is there a danger of going to the dark side and looking down on others? Or does reaching higher levels give me a level of compassion for understanding love for my fellow man that have not reached higher? Okay, great question. Hi, Terry. Thanks for stopping in, babe. Is there a danger? Well, the only danger I would say, I mean, you're not exempt from being lured. Okay. Nobody is. I don't care how strong, I don't care how cosmic you are, I don't care if you've met Jesus Christ. You are not exempt from temptation, right? And if you're not right and tight together in your mind, your body, soul, spirit, everything, you're not practicing, even if you are, you can still fall short. So don't get it twisted. You still can fall short, okay? Even if you master all these techniques. So the only danger, okay, if you are practicing and then you are met with some darkness, and it's an opportunity to explore the darkness, and you're not um, equipped to handle what you are about to go into so that you can pull yourself out. Because sometimes, as a galactic warrior, spiritual warrior, you have to go into the darkness, see what's going on, check things out, see what you're up against, and you get out. But you have to be strong enough because it's so the deliciousness of the darkness is just as tasty as the light if when you're in that realm. So if you don't have the capacity to pull yourself out, then I can see the danger being that you will become hypnotized by it, and that will become your new reality. So it's the danger. I mean, if you want to play with the darkness, it's not, that's up to you. You know, I have put a practice in place where anything that wants to come into my space, any person, anything, any energy, they have to go through the most highest possible self that I am, my highest self. They have to knock on that door first, and then my highest self, if she approves, if she's like, okay, we can do this lesson, or we can you're allowed into the space for it. She makes all the decisions before it even reaches me, because I don't want to deal with no riffraff. And if they can get through her, then it's meant for me to go into the space that I'm about to go to. But I'm very aware of that. I have that agreement with my highest self. So I know that if I'm headed towards darkness, I can see it. I can see, okay, I'm about to go into the darkness right now. I understand it's for a reason. I'm not naive to what's going on because I'm a master at my craft. Now, staying there, like I said, could be a problem. To people that have mastered certain part, or not certain parts, but have really mastered um, these exercises, to raise your vibration. I encourage you to go into the dark. I encourage you to explore the darkness so that you're well rounded, you're well learned, but in order to do that, you have to be very aware. I wouldn't do it too soon, but I do encourage my students that have mastered these techniques to dive into the darkness just a bit to see, check things out, see what you're up against. And when you said, will I have compassion for my fellow man trying to reach the higher? If you don't have compassion, then you did it wrong. If you don't have compassion, then you did not go into the work authentically. You wanted some sort of a title, or it was for not the purpose it was supposed to be for. So therefore, compassion can't live in you because you weren't doing it for the right reasons. So, but if you do it for the right purpose, that's all you have is compassion. There's no other thing that can penetrate that because that's what it is. It can't penetrate it. So if you lose compassion, that's either you have lost compassion for yourself first, and so you're going to project it onto other people, or you were never authentic in your work, and so it's coming back to you. So let me see. I am I obligated to help my fellow man with my gifts? Or can I take the attitude, I got mine, you get yours? You can do whatever you want, baby. You can do, I get mine, you get yours. I mean, that's your choice. The only thing that I feel that any of us are obligated to do is work on yourself. Now, when you work on yourself, you don't have, there's no force to go and help others. I help others when I'm getting my groceries just by standing in their presence. I don't have to do anything because I am the source of my vibe is the source of the help. I don't have to put any effort into, let me help this person, and then I'm glad you brought this up, Mark, because people who want to help other people be better, that place of wanting to help people be better is a place of ego. I want to help people be better. I want, no, you do, want you be better first before you start going around trying to help people. Okay. Because first of all, once you need to know that when you can admit that you know nothing, you know everything. Okay. So you will naturally help people. You don't have to come up with something it will just flow. Sometimes you have to do is be present and your energy will heal. That's it. Or if you want to take the attitude, I got mine, you get yours, you know, uh, that's you, I don't see, I don't see the love factor in that. And I'm not talking about like romantic love. I'm talking about the pureness of love to want the success of humanity. If you want the success of humanity, then that thought will not cross your mind. It's not even a thought. I got mine, you got yours. That's not even a thought because your quest is for the good of humanity. So if you have that thought, again, you did not walk into the practice with authenticity. You had ulterior motive and it wasn't for the greater good. It was for your own, selfish reasons. And you probably end up being unfulfilled from that. You put on all this work, all this time working, master things, and then that comes up, and then it's just dissolved. Because if you're not authentic, it will be revealed, in whatever form or fashion. Hi, Sean. How are you, baby? Thank you for stopping by. Mark, I hope that answered your question. So, my just being myself and improving and bettering myself is enough to put positive energy in the world. That's right, darling. You are amazing. Just how you are right now in this moment. Right now. You are awesome. People always, and that's a thing with the male energy. I'm not saying masculine; it's part of the masculine as well. But the male takes the masculine energy. It's like we gotta do. We gotta do, and that's okay, right? Because that's where you're good at. You're good at getting it done. What do I have to do to make this train run? And so this is an opportunity, Mark, to go into the feminine aspect. This is beautiful, beautiful conversation, Mark. Thank you so much for bringing all these questions. They're just perfect. That's when you can drop into your feminine because the feminine receives. Okay, the masculine energy gives. So you're giving, like, I want to help you, I want to help you. But then you balance that out by receiving, right? So you just sit back and let the energy do what it does. You already did everything up until this point. It's just becoming aware. It's just becoming aware. Good, 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 good. How does spiritual believing in higher power, how does spirituality believe in higher power? What's that, honey? What was that, Chris? I'm not understanding. How does spiritual believing in higher power? I'm not sure of your question. I'm not sure if you're asking if I believe in a higher power. I definitely, there's definitely something greater than us, obviously. And if who doesn't believe that, then I don't know what to tell you. But okay, yes, there is definitely an energy that is greater, that is in control of the situation. Now, what that is, we call it God. I call it God sometimes, creator. I like to say creator. But this is also a great, great question too, Chris. I'm a type of being that I just don't take your word for it. I don't take your word for it. I need to feel it in my spirit. I sometimes I need to see it for myself. I just, if you tell me that there's for instance, I was approached by a Jehovah's Witness, and they gave me the pamphlet, and then open it, and then there's this like picture of this like giant Godhead, coming out of the sky, and you know the story they were telling me, and I was just like, I can't tell my kid that there's going to be a giant white head coming out of the sky to judge. Like, it just didn't sit right with me, and I'm like, who told you this? I need to talk to them. I want to talk to them. I want to see. I mean, if it's true, cool, but let me do a little digging first. Let me do a little digging before I say yes, this is what it is, because ultimately nobody knows. Ultimately, nobody knows because nobody was there. The people that were there, but that was allegedly bazillions of years ago. So people today were not there. So people today are going off of what people have been saying and passing down the line. They're not even going with their own thoughts or intuition or anything within. They go with what's been told, what's been said, because what happened supposedly in the Bible, nobody of this day and age and era was there. They have no clue. So the only way that you can get to the bottom of what is happening and who is in control is going inside. Period. If you believe what other people say, then you're just a follower and you have no interest in figuring it out for yourself, seeing it for yourself. I do, though. I have to know. And the reason I say I know there's a higher power. I've experienced insane things, insane cosmic, I mean, I communicate with ETs and extraterrestrials all the time. So I know there's not just a higher power, but I've seen, beings that are not of this planet. So seeing beings that are not of this planet, anything is possible. Anything. So yeah, that's my take on it. People call God, people call creator, people call whatever it is. But one day we're going to, see. Maybe we already are seeing. Maybe it's us. I don't know. All I know is what's in my soul and what I feel and the magic that I've seen with my own eyes. The magic that I've done with my own hands. The extraterrestrial activity that I have witnessed, not on TikTok, but in my own space. that is what I can say. I believe that because I experienced it. I can speak on that. I can't really speak on the Bible. I wasn't there. I don't really know. It sounds cool. There's some great stories, but I can't really speak on it. I can speak on what happened to me July 3rd, 2014, like, because I was there, and if people don't believe me, I don't care because I saw it with my own eyes. So glad you feel this way. I'm a believer. I've seen his works in my and others' lives. So he's alive. And I'm not knocking nobody's belief systems, I don't know what exactly, but I do know that someone or something or this creator God is taking care of us and loving us, and we are part of it, and everything that we do is for something greater, a greater purpose. So um yeah, Chris, everybody around the world, it's all the same story. We all just call it something different, something that resonates with our soul. But at the end of the day, at the end of time, when everything's said and done, everybody's talking about the same thing. hmm Love and everlasting life. We can go on and on and on and on and on about it, right? So, um, well, we talk about going to a better place than this world, and I have my opinions about that. Um, will reaching these higher levels make us new beings? Of course, absolutely. Of course, you won't be the same. I mean, you're not the same when you reach new levels in life. When you grow, when you go to school, first grade, second grade, you're not the same as you were in third grade. You're not. Every level that you reach, you shed like the snake. It's a shedding, and you take those tools and techniques that you learned and apply them to your newest vibration. But of course, yeah, you're going to be new every time. And then the world being a terrible place, I have opinions about that. I think it's what we perceive. I think it's what we perceive. I think it's what we put our eyes on. I think it's what we allow the world to tell us what this world is instead of seeing it for your own. And in building your own world around yourself, nothing can penetrate my world. What's going on in politics and all, it doesn't penetrate my world. We are all worlds, and I had a couple experiences back in the, I don't know, a couple years ago with the whole derailment of the um, train in Ohio. I don't know if you guys remember that, but this experience changed my perception on like what are we really being told. Um, and so I have family. They live in Cleveland, Ohio, right where the train derailed, right where there was that giant mushroom cloud that they were showing all over, social media. And it was just like I was freaking out. I was like, "Oh my gosh, my family okay?" Like I called them. I was like, "You guys good? What's going on?" I saw that giant mushroom cloud. There's chemicals all over. And whoever's answered the phone was like, "Hey girl." I'm like, "You guys okay?" "Yeah, we're fine." I was like, "Okay, just checking." And it wasn't even a big deal. And then I went and visited months later. And I was just kind of asking the townspeople. I was like, "So what happened with the derailment and all that, those chemicals?" Nobody knew anything about what I was talking about. People were looking at me like I was a nutcase because no one heard about no train derailment. There was no mushroom. Nobody saw no mushroom cloud. Nothing. My family was just like, "What in the world are you talking about?" I'm like, "The derailment." I felt like I was in Twilight Zone because nobody had a clue what happened that was supposedly happened just outside the hospital right across the street from my family. So that's when my perception started changing. I'm like, what are we being shown, really? And what is really happening are two totally different things, my babies. Two totally different things. That's why you have to create your own world. My world is beautiful. I ain't worried about what's going on in that world, that awful world. It's not mine. My world is beautiful, it's sexy, it's fun, it's happy, it's luscious, it's juicy, it's everything. It's fucking fabulous. So I don't really have anything to do with that world. And you don't have to. You can bring a baby in this world and have the most successful world that you build and not build it upon what's going on over there. Based on loving yourself and your neighbors will be. Yes, of course, baby. Have love for everyone. Now you gotta kick it with everybody, but you loving them is good. And Mark says, is it a path to reaching or experiencing the Creator God? It is your path, period. Now, what's your goal? So, if your goal is to be reaching Creator God, great. If your goal is to find out what your life's purpose is, wonderful. But it's all about the experience as a whole. Now, when you limit it, Creator God's already here. So when you say reaching Creator God, you are affirming that you are separate from it. And you're not. It's already, Creator God's here creating already through you. So that's already been done. So now you're in the experience of having reached the awareness of knowing that Creator God is working through you. I think Wizard of Oz, Mark says. So it's all about the experience. It's not about getting to, the end of the road. And that's where a lot of people get messed up, because they miss the whole experience because they're trying to just get there. They're just trying to get there, get it done, and you miss the whole point of life because you're so worried about the outcome. Don't worry about any outcomes. Don't worry about any outcomes. Don't worry if it's gonna, am I gonna meet the Creator God? If you're supposed to, you are. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be creating. You're supposed to be making love in everything. You're supposed to be feeling just the main character of yourself. You're supposed to be loving up on each other. Don't worry about that part. Don't worry about when we get to the end, there's no end. There's no end. I mean, which would you rather be doing? Worrying about if we're going to meet Creator God, or having the most incredible, sensual, divinely juiciest lovemaking of your life? Which one are we going to do? I know which one I'm going to do. And Creator doesn't want you to worry about that. Creator is living through us. We are the vessel. So Creator doesn't get to do cool shit unless it's through us. Because we know how to work this realm. We're human. We have flesh. We know the paper. We know all the stuff that it takes to be here, to live here, reside here. Creator isn't tangible like this, in my perspective, as of today. So Creator needs to come through his creation to experience what it's like to paint, to experience what it's like to feel an orgasm, to experience what it's like. The Creator has to do it through us. So that is how Creator experiences life. We are very important to Creator, because if Creator didn't have flesh to touch other flesh, Creator would not know what it's like to touch flesh. So we are just as important. Creator isn't like, we're gonna see the Creator, it's greater than we, it's like, I get that, but Creator doesn't experience life without its creation. It can't. It's too big. If we looked at Creator, we would probably just shrivel up and die, because the magnitude of the power of the flesh can't handle it. It's too dense. And it's infinite. The Creator's infinite. So you can't put infinite in this tiny. It's like trying to put the infinite Creator in a human form is like trying to put a size 10 foot in a tiny little baby shoe. So you had to split it up, divvy it up between a lot of creations. So, and that's how Creator experiences everything. Murdering people, Creator experiences that, because that's creation. It feels through that. Okay, making love, tap dancing, smoking. Creator is experiencing through us. So there's no place to go. There's just experience. And how are you going to do it? Are you going to do it on a low frequency or high frequency? It's not right or wrong. It's just whatever you choose. If you want to do low frequency, drug it up, do whatever. That's you. That's your experience. You chose that. You are still experiencing the Creator, regardless if you're a murderer or a high priestess. You are still experiencing the Creator, or the Creator is experiencing through you. And we just have the choice to pick what the Creator is going to do today, because we're the humans, and we can do that here on the earth. That's just my take, and through my experience. And I've been doing this for a long, long time, and I've done all of it. I'm sure you guys can probably hear the ice cream truck outside. All of it. I've practiced the darkest of the darkest magic, to the lightest, most highest frequency. My body's going to explode frequency. I chose light. I chose to stick with the light. Darkness was cool. I learned a lot. And I'm very glad that I dipped into it as deeply as I did. And, growing up in my family had a lot to do with that as well. But, I purposely dove into like Thelema and Aleister Crowley and dark magic, and I became quite good. I became quite good at it. I never took it to a dark place. I never harmed. I didn't harm anything, and I harmed no one. I harmed no one. I harmed nothing. I just wanted to learn. And so I recommend, if you are mastering your craft, you definitely want to dip, So I choose to accept my aspect, which brings balance to my being or essence. And that experience or magical journey is what is the point. I like that. I like that, Mark. It's all a choice, babe. Whatever you want to experience, just fall into it. Just lean into it. It might be uncomfortable for a second, but just lean into it. Just try it out. Just see. And the best part is, if you want to stop, you can stop. There's always consequences, and consequences doesn't always mean it's bad. There's good consequences too, but I'm glad that you're choosing that. Your female aspect. I would say more of your feminine, my darling. More of your feminine aspect, not so much female. I think my computer's gonna die here. Give me a second, guys. I should have plugged in my laptop earlier, but I didn't think about it. So give me 1 second, guys. Appreciate your patience. Don't want my computer to die while I'm on here with you. Oops. My light goes off. Hold on, guys. Don't want that. Right there. Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, we almost died there, but we didn't. We're safe. Okay, so yeah, I wouldn't say female, because that's girly. That's female. We want to make sure we stick with feminine, because the feminine is an aspect, like she receives. Okay, so you have to, men are givers. So all you're doing is tapping into the feeling of receiving. So you know what that feels like, so that when you need that aspect, you can drop in. That's what I did with my experiences with the Illuminati and the Freemasons. I just wanted to learn. That's good. That's good. Good job, Mark. Yeah, you dip in, and I was really yeah. Okay, cool. When I was exploring Thelema and Illuminati and Aleister Crowley and wanting to be the high priestess of a cult and all the stuff, um, I was really into, like, I really respected the magic of Thelema. That's what drew me to it, because I love theatrics. I love all the things. Like, I love the robes. I love the candles. I love the incense. I love the music. I love the chanting. I love the elaborate clothes. I'm an artist, so I love putting, when it's ritual time, I dig everything that goes into a ritual. And Thelema, they have really theatrical rituals, and the wording is just so rich and sensual and sexy. And I just, there's a part of Thelema that is just, I love it. But it definitely go a dark place. So that's what drew me to that type of dark magic, if you will. I respected the way that they put time and effort into how they presented themselves in a ritual, and how they respected what they wore, their clean bodies. Everything was respected, and I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. But I had to get out. I had to get out because um, it turned dark. It turned dark, and yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that. Okay. So I hope this is giving you guys some insight. Um, and yeah, if you have any more questions, please let me know. I am here. I love chatting about this stuff. You guys are so amazing. I love just diving deep into these things and hearing your opinions and what you think and how you feel, and your experiences. It's just, when we connect like this, I have no judgment, and I definitely don't think I'm right. I just know what I've experienced, but I will never say this is what it is for everyone. I just can't. I just know what I've experienced. So, thanks for hanging out with me while I dealt with all my technical stuff and the light and stuff. I appreciate you guys. but I'm going to get going if there's no more questions. Um, and I would love to do this again with you, my babies. This is great. You guys, thank you so much for all the incredible questions. I love the questions. You guys really go deep. My sapiosexual mind is just like, yeah, I'm loving it. This is like a love making session for me with you guys because I love, you know, titillizing the mind. So, thanks again. I love you so much. Why don't you guys come in for a little smooch before we leave? Okay. Okay. Mm, 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 my babies. I love you so much. Have a wonderful Sunday, and I'll see you maybe over on TikTok. Okay.